Hello and welcome to another video. My name's Kemal AA and this is another Chelsea transfer news daily video for you guys. Where I keep you guys up to date with all the latest Chelsea news and some big news stories. In regards to the striker situation. Robert Lewandowski linked to Chelsea, offers on the table according to some reliable reports. We'll be also discussing Erling Haaland and some extra news on that in the past 24 hours have developed. We'll be speaking about that. There was a certain podcast that was released in the past 12 hours, literally just last night. We'll be speaking about that as well, because some interesting things were said in regards to the details of package that could be being prepared by Roman Abramovich himself for Erling Haaland. Could that be materialising? We'll have to wait and see. And I'll also be speaking about Jadon Sancho because he said some interesting things, but according to a specific report, Chelsea could be potentially hijacking that move. But before I do get into all of it, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification and comment down below your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. But without further ado, let's get straight into this news daily. And starting off with the biggest news story, and it is of course Erling Haaland. Now according to ESPN, this is broken last night. They're stating that it will take £154 million for Chelsea to land Erling Haaland in summer, which is a transfer fee alone, which equates to around €180 million. That's to essentially reach an agreement with Borussia Dortmund this summer. According to Simon Phillips, he's a very reliable reporter. He's got his own contacts and sources. He's not a verified journalist, but he tweets all the time on Twitter. He's got a very large following. He has actually got some contacts, and that's why I'm mentioning this podcast, because he had a podcast. He has a weekly podcast to discuss transfers, and he said that he was told that Chelsea are looking at some sort of package that they can put together. Now, again, I'm assuming it's not going to be anywhere near €180 million because it's ludicrous. It's an astronomical fee. We need to understand the finances here. We have to understand the finances. But let's look at it from a logical perspective, and I keep stressing this. Next season, if Haaland stays for another year at Dortmund, he will go for €75 million regardless, because that is his release clause. The release clause will become active. That will kick in at the beginning of next summer. Not this season, but for next season. So regardless of the situation, Haaland will leave for that price if he stays at Dortmund this year. So for me, I don't think they're in that power or negotiating position to be charging or to be requesting or putting a price tag of €180 million, which is over €100 million. Then there's actual valuation release clause that becomes active next summer. It doesn't make any financial sense when it comes to accounting, when it comes to a financial perspective. It makes no sense. For me, I've always maintained this position. If you offer between 120 and 130 million, I think Dortmund would highly consider. They would seriously consider offer. Why? Because if they took 120, 130 now this summer, that's still a 45 million to 50 million euros profit compared to next season, because next season Haaland's going to improve, it's going to get much better, and you're going to lose him for less. It makes no, from a business point of view, that makes no sense. And what are Dortmund going to really lose? Yes, he's a generational talent, but you're still getting a large sum of money, an extortionate fee, and it's not like you're competing for the title. You're not going to compete with Haaland or without Haaland anyway. You're still going to get Champions League football with or without Haaland. So, why wouldn't you receive that 120, 130 now, reinvest it back in the squad and try and strengthen in other areas? For me, that'd be more logical from a business point of view and a business sense. So as I've always maintained this position, I don't think Chelsea will pay anywhere near 180, and I don't think that these reports are actually reliable that Dortmund would only accept 180. I'm sure that if Chelsea put 140 on the table, Dortmund would take it right now. Now, there was some rumours and talks that I mentioned a couple of days ago in regards to Tammy Abraham potentially being involved in the swap deal. I've always said that swap deals are very rare in football. And there's a specific reason for this. This is not FM, this is not Football Manager or FIFA career mode. This is business, this is the real world. So basically, clubs don't like swap deals, and I'll give you the reason why in a second. We need to understand that these football clubs, they're corporations, they're enterprises, they're massive businesses, and of course there's a lot of accounting going on when it comes to finances. The specific reason why clubs in general like to get the transfer fee rather than the swap deal is for balancing the books, for accounting reasons. They like to see the money come in because then they can reinvest it back into the squad, but also it keeps everything balanced in terms of bookkeeping, and also for accountants, you also keep your shareholders and your investors happy, because if it's a direct swap deal, if swap deals do occur, you're either going to get a reduced transfer fee or it's a direct swap deal and you're not going to receive any sort of transfer fee. So therefore, you can't give anything to your shareholders and investors. And as a football club, from a business perspective, you want to keep your shareholders happy. As essentially the name of the game, you want to keep your stock prices high. So as I've always maintained, swap deals are really rare in football. And I don't think Dortmund would necessarily even want Tammy Abraham. I think that if you're going to sell Haaland, they're going to want a top striker. And as I said, I doubt Tammy would go to Dortmund, but let's wait and see what happens. As I said, Chelsea are preparing some sort of package, some sort of a a bid to Dortmund. So let's see what happens. As I said, I don't expect it to be anywhere near 180 million euros. I expect it to be between 120, 130. But Roman is very keen. We've known this for so long now. Roman is going to be aggressive in the market. He's going to be aggressive in terms of, trying to secure Erling Haaland. Let's just wait and see, as I've always said. And as many journalists have already reported, his release clause kicks in next summer at 75 million euros. So they can't charge. They're not in a position in some sort of negotiating power to be commanding 170 to 180. It makes no financial or logical sense. So let's wait and see. I'm still optimistic. I still believe Haaland will become a Chelsea player. We're going to put the first bid in. We're aggressive in the market. We want to get this deal done quickly. We're going to put the bid in very soon. So let's wait and see what happens. But moving on to another play from Dortmund, and it is in regards to Jadon Sancho. And according to the Daily Mail, Chelsea manager Thomas Tuchel is an admirer of Jadon Sancho and could be set to hijack any possible deal taking him to Manchester United. Now, this was a bit of a shock to me, I'll be very honest, and I do see this as quite unreliable, and I'll explain why in a second. Now, what I found funny and quite hilarious actually was yesterday, Jadon Sancho had an interview. Obviously, he's away with the England national team. The Euros are starting tonight. And he was asked on who he supported and how it was like when he was growing up. And he said that he was a Chelsea fan. He always looked up to Lampard and Drogba. And I find it hilarious because he's currently negotiating with Man United. And the odds of him coming to Chelsea are really slim. Now, regardless of if we want Sancho or not, I don't see this still happening whatsoever. We know our priority. We know our first club target is Erling Haaland. We know Haaland is a target. We need a centre forward. That is a priority position. We need to sign a defensive midfielder. And then we're also looking at the likes of your Ashraf Hakimis. So for me, we don't need a winger. That's a position we're stacked in. We've got Ziyech, we've got Werner, we've got Pulisic, we've got Callum, we've got Havertz who can play there as well. We've got Mason Mount. So there isn't any space for Jadon Sancho. I don't think it'd be realistic whatsoever. So I do see this as a bit of a nothing story. So the fact that we're potentially hijacking the move, I still believe he's Manchester United bound. Listen, he's a top player with huge potential. Good luck to Manchester United. Again, he's going to improve their starting 11 exponentially. Let's see what he does at Man United. Does he fit the system? But again, in terms of quality and attributes, we know the sort of player Jadon Sancho is. He's just a player that we just don't need, simply. I think if Chelsea were going toe-to-toe with United, he would easily pick us. We're European champions, kings of Europe. He supported us. We've had icons that he's looked up to play for us. So for me, it's a no-brainer. But again, as I've said, I think that he's Manchester United bound. And listen, we've got other fish to fry. We've got Erling Haaland to chase. We've got Hakimi. And I think Haaland is much better than Sancho. So let's wait and see what happens. But as I said, I think our opinion on the type of player Jadon Sancho is completely irrelevant because, as I've already stressed and maintained, he is Manchester United bound. Now, finally, moving on to the last story, and it is in regards to Robert Lewandowski. Now, according to various Spanish publications, Robert Lewandowski has offers on the table from several clubs, including Chelsea. Now, a few weeks ago, we were linked to him, Sky Germany, Sky Sports were linking Chelsea to Lewandowski. Lewandowski, we know, arguably the best striker in world football right now, 33 years of age. He's had a tremendous season. He's Ballon d'Or contender. The amount of goals he's scored, the amount of assists he's had, he's broken the record in the Bundesliga. I believe it's 41 goals. He's smashed the record. He's been absolutely superb. He won the Champions League with Bayern. He's won the Bundesliga for 5 to 6 consecutive years. He's been world class. He's been at the pinnacle of football. He's won everything. He's done everything he possibly could. And I don't think anyone can deny that him and Kane are by far the two best strikers in European football. It's a bit of a debate between those two. I personally would give it to Lewandowski just a little bit in terms of, he's done it on the European stage. He's got the European pedigree as well as the domestic pedigree. But as I said, both of them top quality players. Now, I see this being, again, unrealistic. I don't see this being true. I doubt Bayern are going to let him go. Because let's be serious now, Bayern, they're going to need to find a replacement if they lose Lewandowski. And there's not many strikers on the market right now that they can replace him with that can produce the same efficiency and output that Lewandowski can produce with Bayern Munich in terms of the way that he fits the system, in terms of what he produces. I think they're looking to keep him for another couple of years. And the money that they're throwing around in terms of what they want for Lewandowski is about 50 to 60 million euros. And listen, if it was in his prime, it's a complete bargain. But we need to understand he will turn 34 years of age soon. Realistically, how many world-class seasons are you going to be getting out of Lewandowski? You're looking at 2 maximum, and that is at a push. And that's barring the fact that he's still got to adapt to the Premier League if he did actually arrive. So for me, it's a very risky signing, despite his quality and the fact that he's world-class. And I see this being unrealistic because Bayern are going to be reluctant to let him go. So, as I said, he's not even the priority. The priority right now is Erling Haaland. We've looked at Lukaku. This is more of a kind of if we can't sign any striker, because we know the striker is a desperate position. But as I said, it's been an interesting link. So let's wait and see what happens. But that is me wrapping up the news daily. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and comment down below your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.